I couldn't tell you. I do not feel secure whatsoever.
know
There are
anything.
these cops with giant guns literally just telling us to
Huge
no, literally about the size of like
They
half
made
of
us
my
all lift our
wingspan.
shirt. It was like
They-
200 people probably.
They said lift our shirts, put our hands up so they could see our waistline. They told us to run in the opposite direction, maybe lay in a field so we weren't visible. There were people
Nobody did
crowding
that.
in the parking structure, and I was like, we can't be here. People are gonna look for these crowds. But when we were, all I heard was screaming. All I heard is quote unquote, they're shooting because Hubbard is right next to Acres, which is where we were. And that was that. I sprinted. I'm jumping over these flights of stairs, and mind is blank.
People
I
were
couldn't
like
tell you.
climbing on top of each
People
other to
were-
get out, like scaling tables, jumping down entire flights of stairs,
Yeah.
just sprinting.
And keep in mind, this is freshly when we had just barricaded these
That's a
doors.
SWAT
It,
car.
it took them minutes,
We hadn't even finished blockading the door.
at least. It took them minutes to even let us convince them to blockade the doors.
And there was
by,
no security. It was just lunch ladies.
exactly. And by the time we were already running. There was nothing we can do. There were people still doing the dishes, staff still doing their jobs. Like, people think these things aren't going to happen to them until they do.
We had so many like gun drills in high school, but it was never real,
Yeah.
and it was always soft lockdowns because it was like someone wrote something on the wall.
I was
but
talking-
now it's like real, and the high school treated this with 10 times more urgency than they're treating this.
Absolutely. I was talking to my best friend Rada, one of our best friends, who is now
locked in a building over there.
Yeah.
Right now.
We were talking about this on our way to drop my partner off, and we're like, yeah, these things still happen. Gun violence is an issue. This is an issue on campuses and high schools, any educational institution. We were literally talking about this issue yesterday, and never did I think this would happen the next day. I literally, I have no words. I really don't.
I mean, do you feel that there's a safe place to go? I mean, you ran towards us to take cover in the news van even. So, I mean, do you feel there's a safe place to go right now?
We saw lights and we sprinted. That was it.
Yeah.
We
Because
saw
there was no cops.
We saw the cops with the giant guns near the bus stop. We ran with our hands up. I'm on the phone with my mom. I've got people blowing up my phone. I don't know where I need to go. I don't know where the suspect is. We have a vague description.
We don't even know we don't know how many suspects there are.
Yeah, they're suspected, one shooter, 2, 3, 4.
And they're supposedly everywhere. It was like, oh, they're at Brody, which is what, 30 minutes that way? So we're like, oh, it's fine. And then all of a sudden they're in the courtyard, literally outside of the building that we're in.
It's absolutely, it's just, when you hear things through word of mouth, sometimes it can be for no reason other than fear mongering, but when it comes to something like this, when you hear
Can't take the risk.
exactly, when you hear, there are shots at IM East and there are shots at Brody 5 minutes later, when that's a 35-minute walk,
You know it's
maybe
true.
40, like, that's how you know there's not just one suspect. That's how you know there are people hurt, there are people dying, and there needs to be something done. There are no roads blocked down, there's no blockages, there are just these cops with giant guns that haven't seen anyone, haven't caught anyone.
They don't seem to even know what's happening. They couldn't give us any directions. The cops' directions was run.
Literally.
What is that? Like, you're supposed to tell us where to go. We're 18, most of us. We have no idea what's happening. We've been here. I've been here for a month. I don't even know where any of the buildings are. People saying they're in Hubbard. I don't know where Hubbard is.
It's crazy because maybe over an hour ago, 2 hours ago, literally my plan was eat dinner with friends, go work out.
Yeah, we didn't get to go to the gym. I just took a test. My only worry today was that I was going to fail my test.
And
I
here
don't
we
think I
are
did.
literally running for our lives.
Yeah, nothing matters. Nothing matters. Everyone was stressed for that test. I was freaking out. Nothing matters. I could have just died.
Hey,
Who
I
gives
said
a
this
fuck about a
earlier,
test?
they need to be shaving half of my tuition off for this.